Hi there, my name is James. I started surfing when I was 15 years old. My family spent the summer at a campground right across from St. Augustine Beach, Florida, and I was determined to learn to surf. So I borrowed a shortboard. It was actually a local motion board, and I rode it every day. And it was actually a really bad experience because I had a shortboard. The waves, of course, in Florida, not that great. I was basically just taking off and going straight. The board would be really wobbly and I wasn't very good that summer. But I was determined to learn to surf, and I kept up with the shortboard because that's what was cool. And it took me a long time to even really like surfing.
Hi, my name is Matt. Started surfing really young. Born and raised on the island, so it's kind of what everybody does and what all my friends do. So, you know, we grew up on the beach as little kids, so we just end up eventually getting out there and boogie boarding, surfing, and stuff like that. And I liked it, so I just kept with it.
I first started surfing, I would say, early on in high school. Some of my friends, they wanted to go out and surf, and I haven't had a chance to really surf early in my life, unfortunately. But I'm lucky my friends actually took me out to go surfing. And ever since then, I just was hooked, and I went surfing 3 times a day. Even when it was full moon, we used to go out at midnight down in Waikiki. So it was just something that I felt really good about doing, and I love surfing.
I don't remember the first time I started surfing because I was only a baby, and my dad just took me out on his surfboard and we surfed together. So I don't really remember, but it was great.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I learned how to surf in the beaches of New Jersey when I was 11, and basically I always loved the ocean, so when given the opportunity to try and surf, I definitely wanted to do it, and basically went out, caught a wave, and have been hooked ever since. So I did it actually without any supervision, and nobody was helping me, so I kind of had to figure a lot out on my own, and that's what a lot of my teaching has sort of been influenced by as well.
So my first surfing experience, I actually probably would say it was day 2 of my life. My mom took me out into the water and she used to body surf with me and stuff. But on a surfboard is a uncle named Joe who took me out and just pushed me in my first wave, and I stood up and I was hooked and surfed my whole life after that. At first it was just another way to have fun, but after I got to a certain level, then pretty much dropped everything and surfed every day.
My first surf experience was when I was 7 years old. I was in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and I grew up wanting to surf pretty much since I was about 3 years old. I'd always watched my cousins, and then finally my uncle went and took me out. My first time, actually, I didn't really understand the whole concept of surfing, so my uncle just kind of held the board for me while I stood up. But over time, I kind of motivated myself because I wanted to do it on my own, and I'll never forget that very first wave I rode where I kind of angled my board down the line and paddled in and caught it just in the spot and rode it, and ever since then I've been very passionate about surfing, and it's something that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I was 5. Uncle took me out to surf Kalamas. Fun little shore break, big old board, had a blast.
I was at Kainoa McGee. I am 44 years old from Honolulu, Hawaii, and my first experience was actually here at the Waikiki Wall. Born and raised, I was about 3 years old when I started, and even back then you couldn't ride surfboards at the wall, so I started on a bodyboard actually, and started competing on a bodyboard at the age of 10 and turned professional at the age of 17 after graduating from high school. At that time, up until about 2000, I was strictly competing as a professional bodyboarder. Then after year 2000, I added surfing to my repertoire, and then started competing about 5 months later as an amateur, and then 6 months later as a professional at Pipeline, and at that time it was called the Hanson's Pro. And from there I actually moved on and added stand-up I went to longboarding after riding shortboards, competed in a bunch of events as an amateur on a longboard and a couple pro events, and I'm also just recently started doing stand-up paddle. Well, not recent, the last 5 or 6 years. So I've been competing professionally as a bodyboarder, surfer, longboarder, and stand-up paddler since about year 2000. It all kind of went from just being bodyboarding to like adding everything. And ideally moving forward, I want to add as many other things: kiteboarding, windsurfing, whatever it is that's out there. I want to be able to not necessarily master it, but be better than average at it.